A teacher is usually viewed as someone who gives knowledge to students, but upon closer examination, it is clear that teaching and learning is a two-way street. One of the biggest lessons I have learned throughout this year is what important teachers my students have been for me in my own growth and development. I realize that I have learned just as much from them as they have learned from me. It is a reciprocal relationship of respect and a valuable lesson I am grateful to have learned early in my career. Through cherished interactions, they have taught me about myself, about my teaching practices, and about what it means to be a lifelong learner. By taking time to observe students in and outside of the classroom, I am reminded how fun learning is and the beauty of appreciating the little moments. It is a continual process of self-reflection and appreciation for the students that drives my motivation and reminds me why I wanted to become a teacher. Some of the ways in which I strive to meet the needs of all students include scaffolding, differentiation, and an appreciation for the social and emotional well-being of students. Scaffolding is an essential best practice in my teaching because students are given explicit modeling, support, and practice before exploring on their own. This is a powerful technique because of the gradual release of responsibility from teacher to student. One of the most rewarding experiences that taught me about the importance of scaffolding was a milk and food coloring experiment I conducted with my first graders at my first student teaching placement. This lesson required me to provide explicit modeling and above all have trust that they would be successful. Trusting first graders to open a bag of milk, pour it into a plastic plate, and squeeze 4 different food coloring samples into each corner of the milk independently was quite the achievement for my students. Watching them ask questions to each other, make compromises, and find solutions for how to clean up a little spill or two was a great learning moment for me. My expectations were met because I had given them support and trusted that they would be successful in their hands-on experiment. Students taught me the importance of giving them a role in their own educational experience. Incorporating differentiation strategies is also fundamental in my teaching practice. It is my goal to ensure that all students are appropriately challenged at the level that will maximize their learning experience. This practice allows all students to have access to the material and content in a meaningful way. In my second student teaching placement, I designed math and word problems that allowed my third graders to have choice in their learning experience. One problem I created asked students to devise a strategy for sharing cupcakes fairly between friends. I offered 3 number sets of varying difficulty, and students were to choose 2 sets that they wanted to plug in and solve for. After providing work time, students shared their strategies in front of the class. Differentiating their instruction gave students a choice in their experience, a chance for self-assessment, and the opportunity to learn from peers. Students taught me how important it is to listen to the ways in which they think about problems. The strategies they came up with provided me with insight as to what kind of learners they were and the ways in which they make meaning. Valuing the social and emotional well-being of students is another best practice I will continue to employ in the classroom. To be successful academically and socially, children need a set of social skills: cooperation, assertiveness, responsibility, empathy, and self-control. One example from my first student teaching placement was an end-of-the-day routine called Peacemakers. Every week at the top of the board, a new focus word was listed, for example, kindness. At the end of each day, students were asked to nominate 10 peers who were peacemakers that had shown kindness. When offering a peer's name, students also had to provide a reason why they chose that person. This was an opportunity for students to reflect on their own behavior as well as their peers' behavior, giving them a reason to be conscious of their actions throughout the school day. These first and second grade students demonstrated such honesty and care in their responses that I learned the value of trusting young children's ability to self-reflect and carry out respectful behavior. Along with the teaching practices my students have helped me develop, they also model qualities of a lifelong learner that I hope will always guide my teaching. Every day, students remind me to keep an open mind, ask many questions, and enjoy every moment.